Okay, students, boys and girls, welcome. This is our chapter 6. Still, we're looking into the strategy. Last week, I hope you still remember, last week we did on corporate strategy. So, corporate strategy, there are actually three category of corporate strategy. We started off with the what we call the grand strategy. The grand strategy deal with growth, stable growth, turnaround, and combination. So those are the first layer of corporate strategy. The second one is actually what we call the secondary or the second level strategy. The second level strategy, we have got another four, i.e. expansion. Then we have integration, diversification, and turnaround. Yeah, each of those have each cluster. Then the last one is the tactical strategy. The tactical strategy deal with what we need to do. If we are going to expand, then we are going to our strategy is expansion. So how are we going to do those expansion? We have got 7 options. We're going to expand organic internally, or we're going to expand by joint venture with another party. We can also expand by having merger or takeovers, acquisitions, or we can also have what we call the reverse takeover, reverse acquisitions. Then we can form strategic alliance, as well as the last one is moving for licensing and franchising. So those are the three layers of corporate strategy. Now, in all, there are three types or typology of strategy. We have dealt with corporate strategy last week. Now we're going to going into what we call the business strategy. Business strategy. So for this week, the focus would be on first the Porter generic business strategy. Don't get yourself confused with Porter 5 forces. Porter 5 forces is for us to do our analysis on the industry, whereas the Porter generic strategy is to identify what strategy we need to embark in order for us to achieve our business vision and mission. Yeah, so there are two different terminology, two different concepts that you need to understand. From my previous experience, I have experienced that a lot of students, they tend to get themselves confused with Porter 5 forces and Porter generic. Yeah, so I'm expecting that we will this time around not get ourselves confused lah. Yeah, so you need to understand. Porter 5 forces deal with analysis. Porter generic is related to business strategy. And I have shared with you a video on how Porter generic strategies works. Right? I appreciate and I expect that you have actually go through the video once before you came for the class. So that is my expectation. Now, when we talk about strategy, when we talk about strategy, maybe some of you will ask me, okay, what is the differences between corporate strategy, business strategy, and functional strategy? Now, they are very distinct. What we call it differences between the three. Whereas corporate strategy is the overall picture of what is your attention, what is your plan, the overall plan. Yeah. So we can actually take example of Asia. Asia wanted to be the largest low cost airline in Asia. So their corporate strategy is to have a growth, what we call it, not stable growth, yeah, but growth. It's a leap. So their intention is to actually to capture as many destination as they can, as much revenue as they can. So that is their what we call grand strategy. That is on the corporate strategy, the first layers of the corporate strategy. Then they know that they either can pursue secondary strategy by expansion, or by integration, or by diversification, or by turnaround. In this manner, is for them, Asia is not about going for turnaround. Yeah, their option are actually into two. If they wanted to be the largest low cost airline in Asia, um, they can actually expand their fleet, expand their company, and having more planes, by having more staff, by having more routes. Or what they can do is that they can integrate their businesses. Yeah, they can integrate their businesses. One prime example, one very good example, is when they actually was given the rights to fly over Sabah and Sarawak. Once upon a time, I think few years ago, the government granted Asia the rights to run the what we call it, the rural flights services, which was normally done by MAS. So they actually wanted to expand by having the rural flights. But then again, it was found out that the rural flight cannot make money. They are losing by actually doing that business. So one of the things that they can do is that when they want to grow the business, they actually can integrate. So meaning to say, they are not going to do small airlines, small airports, small town, but they integrate it into only bigger towns. Yeah, so by doing that, they can do the integration of the business by having what we call it, only the routes that is profitable. Now, they can also diversify. So Asia, you may have actually know by now that they have got their business quite diversified business. They have hotel, they have buses, they have their own insurance company. Yeah, so those are what we call diversification. It can be concentrated. Yeah, it can be something that is related to travel and tourism. It can be also conglomerates. Conglomerate means that something that is not related at all with their business. Yeah, um, it can be geographical as well. They can do some business. One example is that they have this Tune Hotel in Southeast Asia. Then they wanted to expand to certain countries, but certain countries, because of the limitation, they cannot actually do it on their own. They need to actually get partners. So when they get partners, they expand in another country. They get partners, but along the way, some might be successful, some might not be successful. So those are what we call the secondary level strategies. Then we move on to the tactical. Like I said last week, it can be internal, it can be through joint venture, it can be through merger, it can be take over another company, whatnot. So those are what we call the helicopter view, the overall overview of the plan of the business. But then again, once you have decided, say that you are now having you are embarking into a hotel industries, just like Tune Hotel, hotel industries. The question is, how do you actually compete with the existing players, and how are you going to get those customers which are already not your customer to come in and become your customer? This is what we call business strategy. This is where we as an organization compete with others company using or actually using our marketing, our product as what we call um, the weapon for us to get our customer, for us to actually ensure our expansion. So in detail, I will actually share with you later on how business strategy help organization and what are type of business strategy. All right, I see you later.